Hi, my name is Heather. Today I'm going to my first coffee party meeting. I figured I'd take you guys along so you can see what it's all about. Well, let's get rolling and see our first coffee party meeting. It's the first coffee party meeting that I'm going to. I'm looking forward to finding out what I'm going to find there. According to the advertisements on this, it's supposed to be a civil group of people having a discussion on politics without any dramatics and without any yelling. It's supposed to be a sane alternative to the Tea Party, supposedly. I'm very interested to see how they are on different issues. Wall Street reform being one. Gay rights being another. Well, we finally arrived at our destination. We're here in the parking lot, about to walk into our first coffee party meeting. Let's go inside and see what we're going to find. The first thing I noticed as I came into the meeting was there were a number of people, all with varying political backgrounds, having a civil conversation about bank reform.
Mortgage business years ago. And it was common then and it's common now for a lending institution, be it a bank or anything else, to sell a loan, a mortgage loan to an individual, and then to take that loan and sell it back into the secondary market. So they get their money back. It made them...
Time to time they would bundle up a bunch of mortgages and sell.
They don't even have to. Just the individual bank.
So that they would have capital.
Yeah, they continue capital. They make their money on the fees. The safety factor in that, anybody who borrowed, anybody who got these loans had to meet certain requirements. So every time a loan was sold back, there was some confidence that there's a likelihood of it being repaid. That went by the wayside during the last month.
I can now because I have ID.
One of the people to attend the meeting that day was John Abramson. I was lucky enough to meet up with him afterwards, and he was kind enough to grant us an interview. Many people have heard of the Tea Party. It's been on the nightly news and certainly gotten a lot of coverage over the last few months. However, the coffee party, on the other hand, seems to be something that a lot of people don't know about, but might be interested in. Could you explain exactly what the coffee party is?
Let me start with what isn't the coffee party. The coffee party is not an opposition to the Tea Party. The coffee party is completely apolitical. There is no saying that if you're a Republican or Democrat that you can't be part of it. What you can be is someone who wants to get government interaction and get the government to move into a direction that people want, rather than inaction, which has been the most part of what's been going on for the past year.
How did you hear about the coffee party, and what exactly made you want to get involved in it?
Like many others, I found out about it from just being on Facebook, and somebody has posted saying, oh, the coffee party, like coffee, well, that sounds interesting, what's a coffee party about? So looking at Facebook, some of the videos that were put on by Annabelle as to what they were trying to push seemed to fit what I was looking for. Basically, an outlet for my frustration of seeing so many people on the TV being portrayed by the media as in complete opposition of the current government and trying to tear down government rather than what we should be doing is getting behind our government. Back when George Bush was in office and we were in war, everybody was saying it should be considered to be, trying to think of the right word, but really wrong to be against George Bush because he was president during a war. But then they turn around on January 20th, 2009 and say, well, the new president, we're not behind him. He's not my president. Well, guess what? We're still at war. Nobody told these guys that are overseas that it's over. You guys can come home. War's still on, but these people are still screaming about Obama and going Barack Hussein Obama and the birthers and everything else. So it's really gotten frustrating to a lot of people. And like myself, many people have seen what's going on with Facebook and what Annabelle put out, saying, you know what, we need our own outlet. The people who really think that the government works or should work or how it can work, we need to get behind them. And that's the better way of getting the agenda across. So not tearing down government, but building it up.
All political parties have a political agenda, so my question to you is, what is the political agenda of the Coffee Party?
Well, the biggest ones right now, the biggest push is the whole Wall Street issue and also the Citizens First action, trying to get a lot of the corporate funding out of the hands of people running for office, because now that corporations can give as much money as they want to any person who wants to run for office, it really takes the political action out of the people's hands and into the corporation. And we want to get the whole point of the Citizens United getting Congress to actually pass some legislation that prevents that from going forward. And more on the state side, from a state point of view, we're also trying to work with the redistricting and trying to stop the negative redistricting that's been going on, so that it can be more of a fair type election no matter where you sit.
Okay. And the redistricting, what can you explain that a little more of what's going on with that and how it is a political issue and what does it actually affect? In other words, what does that mean to me if someone comes up to me and says, hey, they're redistricting?
Look at some of the districts in Florida per se. You have a district, one congressional district that runs a thin slice down the east coast of Palm Beach, cuts over into Broward, goes this way, that way, cuts around, just so they could get as many either Democrats or Republicans in a specific district so that they can push an election in a certain way.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I noticed most about today's meeting was that there were a number of people from varying political backgrounds having a civil discussion about various issues and seemed to be discussing them in a productive way. Please explain to me the role that civility plays in the Coffee Party.
Right. Well, one of the biggest things about the Coffee Party is the fact that we only allow people in who are willing to be civil and have civil discourse. Anyone who's disruptive, shows behavior that they try to, start the whole yelling and shouting, let's go stand on the street corners and start yelling at people, this is how we believe, anti-war, whatever. That's not really what the Coffee Party is about. The Coffee Party is more of a group of people that just want to get their point across without having to scream about it. So you can have a civil discussion. The Coffee Party is not exclusive to just Democrats or liberals. There are people that are conservative. I consider myself more of a moderate, maybe a little bit more to the left of middle, but most of the people in the country I think I kind of represent, because most of the people from polling are more of the middle of the road type of persons. People that believe in what part of what the conservative values are and part of what the liberal values are.
Mm-hmm. Well, I finally did it. I went to my first Coffee Party meeting. Looking back at what I found out about the party today, it seems very interesting. I found out that there's a group of people with varying political backgrounds, conservative, liberal, and in between. They're all getting together, sitting at a table, and having discussions about topics that concern Americans. They're trying to come up with solutions rather than political positions. Elected officials are so busy trying to get re-elected, they are no longer working on solutions to problems that affect the constituents that elected them. They spend their time raising money, ensuring that they will get re-elected and keep the power that they have accumulated over the years. Perhaps a third party could replace rhetoric with ideas and end the endless cycle of Washington politics once and for all.